Heading to the boat ramp this morning, driving off the road here. We had a little pleasant surprise this morning. We were going in to get gas in the truck and a bag of ice. Walk in, there's this gas station. You don't even realize it, but they got this little deli on the side. They got breakfast and stuff. And I noticed they got this case with some donuts in there. And from the visual point of view, they just looked like any other glazed donuts. I figured, you know what? Give them a try. And it may possibly be the greatest donut I've ever had. The only time I can put a donut above that donut was when you're at Krispy Kreme and the hot now sign was on.
Hot and ready.
But those were not hot, so that doesn't even count. If those were hot, that would be one for the books. So we're heading down here, heading down the ramp. A little bit of wind today, not quite as bad as it was yesterday. It's going to get worse as the day goes on here, and then it'll kind of settle off a little bit. But it looks like the day of the tournament is going to be horrendous weather, which is,
both days.
You know.
Well, the first day won't be as bad. The second day will be 30-mile-an-hour winds and a chance of rain. That'll be no good.
And thunderstorms scattered. So, you know, you would almost think there's a tournament scheduled or something when the weather's that bad.
Yeah.
It's to the point where it's almost comical now. It's like when Alabama's kicking a field goal and they miss, you don't even get mad anymore. It's just like, it's
funny. You
funny.
expected it to miss.
Yeah, it's just funny because you're like, okay, this is ridiculous. That's how it is when there's a tournament. It's like, oh, it's going to be the worst weather all year? Makes sense. That's what we expect now. It's like you missing a field goal. So it's like bad weather in tournaments, like Alabama and extra points. Don't expect much. So it's going to be pretty terrible. So hopefully Friday will be decent weather, except there'll be a good chance of thunderstorm and stuff, rain mixed in. That'll be the only bad part. There'll be sun here and there, and the wind will be, you can deal with it. As of now, Saturday looks like it might be the day after tomorrow, so that'll be fun. But heading down to the boat ramp, the water is still super high.
It's dropping.
Even though it's supposed to be falling, but it is still pretty high. So we're gonna go try and find some good fish. All right, got the boat all ready, turning the GPS on, and the current is ripping in there. It is like really rolling. I know the wind, this north wind we got is kind of pushing out now. The flag, that flag right there, was literally about to come flying off the pole yesterday. So it is nice to see it not doing that. You know, it's a little bit of breeze out here, but this is totally doable. Hopefully we can go, if this will hold off and be like this for a while, we can really do some fishing today, regardless of the cloud cover. I would rather it be, you can't have both. You can't have windy and cloudy. You can have one or the other. I can't stand when it's windy and cloudy. We're about to dump her in, and oh man, parking lot's getting full. There's a very rare occurrence that has just happened. There's sunshine.
Sunshine and Delic Road.
Sunshine and light winds. Somebody, I had to pull out the camera and get this on video because this just doesn't happen. Anytime there's a tournament, the whole week before, it just turns to absolute garbage. Now over there is pretty gloomy a little bit, not terrible. But over this way, the sunshine. So I'm ready to get to the spot while we have some good weather and figure out if we can find any fish. Alright, well he just caught a Goliath. And I just did the worst filming job in the history of all filming jobs.
Dude, that's a toad.
By that knob.
That was almost a disaster.
You almost grabbed him when you grabbed by the knob. He's not as long as you think.
No, I wish I did.
He would be a good kicker.
That's a beautiful fish.
Alright, so we checked a couple spots in one area, and the water is just chocolate. I think it was this big tide they had. All this water yesterday was all up in the trees, up here in the bushes, And when the water fell, it brought all that dirt with it. So the water is just super, super dirty. So we're gonna go to a whole nother area now that hopefully we'll have some cleaner water. Just an entirely different area that's kind of less muddy on the banks, a little bit harder soil. So we're thinking that maybe that flood tide didn't affect it so much. So that's what we're gonna go do now. So we got a short run to make. It's not very far. So we're gonna go try and see if we can find some clean water where we can see some good fish. We saw a few. He caught that one over. We've probably seen 3 other fish that were all probably in the slot, but the fishing's just not really good over here. That doesn't mean it won't be good in a couple days once this all settles down, but you just have, you know, high water dropping really fast, high winds out of one direction, high winds out of the other direction. It's just got everything all messed up. So we're gonna go try a whole different area and see if it's a little bit more settled down over there. That's a pretty good fish. He's angry. So, this is a short little fat fish. Sight cast. I thought he was a lot bigger than he was because he was pulling like crazy. He was really angry. But he is short, but he is super fat. Look at the belly on this guy.
No doubt.
He's been eating good. So, you know, if you caught one in here that was a little bit longer, it'd be a pretty good fish. I'm gonna let him go. That's that. So finally I get to catch one. 100%. Watch this. Oh, right there. I got it. I don't see him now. He was just out that way. I'm kind of just getting over sometimes. Yeah. Keep watching around. He was like moving around like he was just fired up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now let's just stay here. That one will pop up. That's a good fish. I don't worry about it. I'll just do that. Alright, so here's the difference between that last fish y'all see. So there's this fish. This fish is about 3 inches longer, or 2 inches longer than that last fish. Except they're the same exact weight. That last fish was like 21 inches, 5.5 pounds. And this one's like 23.5, 24 inches, 5.25 pounds. So there's definitely a difference as far as their diets. That one was a lot more aggressive too. The last one kind of turned around and ate it pretty good. But that one, I threw out there in the moment he saw my bait, he about threw himself out of the water to get it. So, at least they're feeding. We just need one that's the right size. Watch this. Where'd he go? It's a good fish too. If I don't spook him. Oh no. No, I took it from him. You ain't getting crap. Alright, so a little time check for y'all. It's 2:10. Been out here since probably 8:30. So anyway, we just went through one area, found fish, finally found some fish in some pretty clear water where we can do some sight fishing. Just never found any in the right size. So now we're about to go check an area that he found last year when he was out pre-fishing by himself and we had 2 different boats. So we're gonna go over there, check that spot. That spot definitely had some good fish in it last year. You know, I'm not too stressed about it because there's another area that I think we can really do well in. I just don't think it's right now. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of the areas we checked today, we could go back on. We can go back to on Thursday or Friday and do well in. I just don't think conditions are right now. So, but it's nice to have areas like this that we know that if it all hits the fan, we can run to pull in a matter of an hour, catch a limit of fish. So that is good. That's kind of relieving in a way. I don't think we can win the tournament right there. I don't even think we can cash a check there. But I do know that if, let's say, we go to the spot and we catch, 4 good fish and we just need 1 more, I know for a fact we can come in right there and catch them. So my theory was correct earlier that this new area we've gone to definitely has cleaner water, and the water's still dirtier than it usually is, but it is a little bit better than other places. So we're gonna go check these spots right here to see if we can find some with a little more size to them. He bumped it.
Well, they should be.
On the blind cast.
Well, they're just sitting out there. Turn your body to him so you can see it.
Alright, so one of the redfish we caught spit up some of his lunch in the boat. That looks like a baby bass from this year's spawn. I'm no expert, but that's what that looks like to me. Got some nice organs coming out there. Throw that back. And then obviously, there's no doubt on what this is. This is a part of a blue crab he spit up. So, let's get it to focus. Oh yeah. Look at that detail. So part of a blue crab and part of a baby bass. I'm assuming that would have, I mean, that could have been a lot of little things, but it looked like a little baby bass to me. And it's that right time of year where they're, they just hatched. So I'm assuming that's what that was. So they're feeding, that's for sure. And that tells you that obviously they don't mind hitting a shrimp either. About to head back to the ramp. It is getting a little late, not crazy late, but enough to where we've seen what we want to see for the day. Checked out 3 areas. I think we can rule out one. Got a maybe on another. And the other section, we're going to have to just look at it whenever this wind lays back down and gets back to normal level. So I think Thursday will probably be tomorrow, Wednesday.
What?
Tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Alright, we can go check those areas tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to check the areas that I really am looking forward to checking. But today was not a complete bust. We found an area, a whole big area that we know we can go catch fish if we had to. I don't think you're going to win anything there, but it would be a good place where if you had to go catch some fish, you can go catch them. So we're going to go put it on the trailer and head back to the hotel. And that's going to do it for today's video, everybody. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, because we got some really cool stuff coming the rest of this week. We're going to have some good weather finally, so we ought to be able to get some really sick stuff for y'all. And hopefully we don't get blown away Friday and Saturday during the tournament, but at least we got 2 good days of weather the next 2 days prior to the tournament, so we should get some really cool stuff. So thank y'all for watching, and bye.